talking for the last 20 minutes and didn't even have the stream live. So we're live now. All right. Hey, I'm out here at Squaw Creek. Uh, this is a nuclear power plant lake in north central Texas between Granbury and Glen Rose. Uh, I'm heading north towards the river. I'm not going to go that far. Water temperature is hanging at 80 degrees. Here it is in middle November, and the water's still warm, which is good. I'm trolling a little rattle trap as I'm heading to my spot. When I move from spot to spot in my kayak, I like to troll along behind me a lipless or a rattle trap, something like that. And a lot of times I'll get a reaction bite. I caught one this morning already. And of course, I thought I had my screen live, but I didn't, so you didn't get to see it. Anyway, I'm still trolling right now. I got this rattle trap behind me. I'm heading to my spot. Yesterday, the bass were hitting. They were hitting. The bite was shallow in deeper water. Let's say they were in 15 to 20 foot of water in the trees, and the bite was, say, 2 to 5 feet. That's where I caught most of my big ones yesterday. And then as the day warmed up, I moved back up into the shallows. And of course, with the water warm here, there's a lot of cover, a lot of trees. You can see I'm in 17 foot of water, 80 degrees. I don't want to get too close to these other guys fishing here. They're working along this bank. I'm almost to the spot that I'm going to work. This place I worked yesterday up in East Standing Timber. It was about a mile and a half from the boat ramp. Yeah, I think I'm coming up on my spot here. It's kind of hard to see first thing in the morning, the mist, the fog rolling off the warm water. Sitting in a kayak, I'm down lower and it's harder to see. And I do have to watch out for boats, but I've got all my lights on. I got side lights and a little light on a mast here for safety. Couple guys fishing over there in that cove. All right, I'm sorry. I'm trying to hang on to this rod trolling and the phone at the same time. This is stretch line bait and tackle, aka old man in a kayak, fishing out here at Squaw Creek early this morning. Had one reaction by trolling a rattle trap as I'm moving to the spot I'm going to fish. I don't like to waste time in a kayak when I'm fishing. If I'm moving from spot to spot and it's not super shallow, I'm usually dragging something behind me. I'll troll a line. And usually adds up to a catch. The only thing I have to watch out for, especially with this fog, is boats. Most of the guys don't fly too much, but every now and then you get some racers out here, and when this mist is going, it's harder to see me, but I do have all my safety lights on and the sun's up. Just down low, I'm hidden in the mist and the steam coming up off the water. I'm almost to the spot where I'm going to fish. Yesterday I was punching I had an experimental lure yesterday. Well, it was new for me, and it was the Rage swim bait, but I coupled it with a 3/8 ounce underspin with a big willow blade, and it was working really well. Caught two early in the morning off of it. Actually, it was like my fourth or fifth cast I caught one, and ended up snagging in a tree. There's a lot of timber here, a lot of submerged timber. Anyway, I lost my lure, and I didn't bring any others with me. I was just coming out to test it out, see how it did. I wasn't for sure if that swim bait was going to work right with the willow tail, that rage tail. So I was wondering if the action was going to interfere with it, but it didn't. Actually, it worked pretty good. It moved good. So that's something y'all might want to try if you're looking for a lure with a lot of action. It's a couple of one of them rage tails with a willow blade underspin. Worked quite well. So, alrighty, hey, I'm almost to the spot where I'm going to fish. Let me see if I can get y'all down because I need to move rods here. Hopefully y'all can still see everything. I'm putting you in my pocket right now. I'm going to pull in this trolling lure. I just don't want to troll when I'm crossing here because this is a place where the boats come through. It's kind of a clearer, deeper place here. So I don't want to be trolling and get into traffic. I like to keep my head on a swivel, man, and that's the only thing when you're kayaking is, you know, safety, and we have to watch out for boats because, I mean, most people are safe, but every now and then you get the hot rodders, and you know they may not see you, or they may not see you until they get right up on you. So that's why I always keep my head on a swivel. Alrighty. I'm gonna move up over in this timber here. Straight up here, I'm crossing the main part right now. I'm in like 20 feet of water. I don't know if you can see the trees here coming up. There's little points and stuff. It doesn't look like there's not a. Let me say there's not a lot of vegetation. There's a little bit around the shorelines. It's pretty rocky, but there is a lot of timber in this lake and a lot of submerged timber, and I bet you there's a lot of damaged props out here. Matter of fact, I saw a guy in a pontoon boat yesterday trying to go in the spot where I was at, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's got several chunks out of his props because he hit some underwater big trees that I mean, I heard that prop thump. I don't know why you get in that timber like that, even though it's deep water. There's so much submerged stuff here. Why you wouldn't have your trolling motor going? All right, I'm in 28 feet of water right now. See where I'm coming up here, and pretty soon you'll see some timber and stuff and some high points, and this is where I'm going to start working right through here. The good thing about being in this spot is the boats won't come this way. You can see that guy's running. Let's see if I got him here. There he goes. He's running down that's the deeper channel there. So you can see they won't come in this part of the lake because there's a lot of timber, and you can see here I'm starting to get the structure on my graph, and this is where I was getting my bites yesterday here and right up through here. So I'm going to fish here for the next few minutes. Let me get a lure out and let's see if I can. Hopefully I keep y'all in focus here. They were hitting shallow yesterday, and I didn't have a topwater rig because I wasn't planning on topwater fishing yesterday morning, but they were hitting the surface in this deep water around these trees and stuff yesterday. So hope y'all can still see it. It's in my pocket while I'm getting ready here, and wouldn't be surprised y'all hear me snag up, man. There's a lot of snags here, a lot of underwater structure, you know, and you're running a couple treble hooks through the timber, you're going to get them hung up. But the good thing is these I can usually get them out fairly quickly, fairly easily. I don't really lose as many lures as I thought I would out in the timber. So Hope y'all can still see me. Or not me, but see what I'm doing out here on the lake. Like I said, I got you in my pocket, so I'm gonna make sure the camera's up. You know what? Let's try something here. All right, I got y'all a camera mount. The problem is I got a tether on this phone, and it's clipped to my life jacket, so I don't mind losing the lure, but I'd really hate to lose my phone. I don't feel like paying another $1,000, $1,200 for a phone just right now. You know, yesterday I was up here in these trees, and they were chasing shad real shallow. So I'm hoping I can duplicate that this morning. Right now they got a lot of waves, but I think it's from them boats moving through. It's not from the wind. The wind is just a very, very, very slight breeze. Anyway, I'm pitching right now. See if I can get this over here where y'all can see. I'm pitching a white bomber. This is a mid-depth here, depending on the retrieve. And I've got this on a, I think this is my, I got a 7.5 to 1 lose reel. So, depending on your retrieve is how deep you get it. I'm trying to keep it around the 3 to 6 foot range. It seems like it may be just me, but it seems like the fish move a little slower on this lake. I mean, like they're not as aggressive, and I think it's because there's such a giant, I mean, an awesome amount of food here, because this lake here has a giant tilapia population. I mean, they want you to take. Matter of fact, if you catch a tilapia, it's illegal to release it. You're not supposed to release one alive because it's an invasive species and it's taken over the lake because they breed so much. And the water being warm, they breed every few months. So the bass actually, you know, they'll eat the small tilapia. And of course, there's a shad population here and some bluegills, a really good catfish population too. And I know that at the boat ramp, they got some cleaning tables where people go clean the tilapia and that, pull the guts out there. And I guarantee those catfish are up there just having a little smorgasbord at night. Everybody's off the, this lake closes at 3:30 during the day. There's ramp opens at daylight, at sunrise. And all boats off the water at 3:30. Ooh, I'm gonna get hung. Yep, that was a bad cast. I should be able to get it though I can see it. Oop. I'll run into this tree right here beside me. Yeah, I can see it hanging in the tree, so I'm not too bad. You will get hung up here. There's quite a bit of timber here. I guess he's underwater. Now there he is, right there at the edge. There he is. See, these things come off pretty good. I like these. I'm a fan of these bomber crankbaits here. I worked one Man, last week I banged it along the rocks and the stumps and all that, and let me tell you something. I wore the paint off that thing. But I probably caught about 10 or 12 bass on it, and then I lost it yesterday. But that's okay. It wasn't a big loss because I think I got my money's worth. And the paint, like I say, the paint was pretty banged up. I drug it along enough rocky shoreline, bouncing off rocks and stuff. So I like to do some of them shallow divers and find a rocky point, or a rocky bank where there's rocks in it, and sometimes you can bounce it in shallow diver crankbaits across there, even in a square bill, to get reaction light. It doesn't look like there's much here. You can see a few things sticking above the water, but let me tell you something, there's a lot below the water here. I know, I've caught enough of it. But it's a good bass structure. Bass like this warm lake, and of course, I have to find where the shad are running. I mean, if they get through here where the bait fish are, if they come running through here, I might have to switch to a top water. Still not quite smooth. I like to throw a top water when the water's like glass. There's a little bit of a breeze today. Actually, it's coming out of the north. I didn't see anything on the weather about wind, but yesterday it was a south breeze, a very like 3-mile-an-hour south breeze. It feels like maybe a 4 or 5 out of the north today. So the wind switched directions. I haven't checked barometric pressure to see if we're on a high or a low. I don't think we have any fronts moving in, so we could be sitting on we could have had a high pressure move in. I got a barometer app on my phone that I use, and also tired yesterday. I pedaled I don't know, 6-8 miles yesterday. I'm an old man. It takes its toll on me where it used to not, So, guys, I'm not trying to overdo it today because I've got another tournament coming up next weekend, Friday and Saturday out at Lake Fork. Real good bass habitat out in East Texas. It's the Native Kayak Big Bass Series. So I'm going to be running out there Friday for a practice, and Saturday will be tournament. And I'm probably going to do another live stream next Friday while I'm out on the lake for the practice. I probably won't do it during the tournament because I want to focus and not try to fiddle with the camera and stuff, because I'm not the best camera guy, you know what I mean? I hope y'all are getting some good scenery here. You can see how there's steam coming up off the water. Like I say, it's Power Plant Lake. And the bass were all through here yesterday. Of course, it changes from day to day, so you always got to watch the weather, temperature, barometric pressures, water temperature. I mean, wind. There's so many variables when it comes to bass fishing about where the bass relate to the weather. I mean, it's a regular science in that, and I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a weatherman. I just know a little bit. I know the basics to kind of do some figuring. I know enough that when there's a high pressure coming in, that the fish tend to are pushed deeper because of the pressure, and at low pressure they'll usually there's more buoyancy for them, I guess, and they'll sit closer to the top. And a lot of times the high pressure, real high pressure, will push them down. Not only it'll push them to the bottom, towards the bottom, but still them too, where they're not feeding as much, you know. I guess it's got to do with the air pressure affects the pressure in the water. So it makes the fish a little bit heavy. It makes, I guess it's a little denser. I don't know if I'm explaining it just right, but I know enough to kind of know how it affects them a little bit. Like I say, I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert on this by no means, you know. Well, I'm not sure if anybody's watching right now. I hope so. So I got this live stream going, and you know, it's probably boring just watching an old man in a kayak floating along, not catching anything yet. Caught one, but they are here. I just got to find them. So I'm searching and hunting with this crankbait. I've had good luck with these white crankbaits out here. I try to mimic the tilapia coloring because I feel the bass feed on the tilapia quite a bit. So I found mimicking the colors. You always want to mimic the colors of the bait fish, you know. And bass see colors in different spectrum than we do. It's I believe it's reds that they don't see. I may have that backwards, but their vision is different from ours. Like a chartreuse to us is that bright green. It's not to a bass because there's no reds in their vision that takes on a different tone and a different color. But I still feel it doesn't matter as long as your lure, I think as long as your lure matches what they're eating, you're okay. So you should always look at the bait fish. I mean, even like crawfish, because bass will eat a lot of crawfish. And if you will look at the coloring of the crawfish in the body of water that you're fishing, because it varies from place to place. Some places they're going to be a red or an orange, have a lot of reds and oranges in them. Some places they're going to be dark green, or they'll be lighter colored. So wherever you are fishing, you always want to know what color are the crawfish, what color are the shad, what color are the bluegills, what's the near the top. My spot here. I just had a big one surface right here nearby me, probably chasing a shad or something. See if we can entice them a little bit. I see a lot of clutter on my graph. I'm in 26 feet of water, but I see a lot of clutter that I don't know if it's a bait fish school. It's kind of spread out. It could be a water temperature fluctuation. I'm not real sure. I know the surface is still showing 70. starting to warm up. Still got a little bit of a chill to the air, but I guarantee you I'm going to say we're mid 50s right now probably. I don't even have a jacket on. I've just got a light Columbia hoodie and then a light fishing shirt over the top. Of course, I got my life jacket, so that adds extra warmth. You forget about it on a cool morning, but I guarantee you on a warm day, I wear in the kayak, rule number one, always wear your PFD. You know, I have mine on. If I'm in the boat, it's on. So I know on bigger boats, large bass boats and stuff, we always had a rule where big motor on, life jacket on, and then when you stopped and you were trolling, we would take them off. Of course, that's a much more stable platform, and you're usually with somebody. But kayaking, you're by yourself, and it's not nearly as stable. So for safety, always wear your PFD. I even put mine on when I'm at the ramp launching, because if I get in the pull the trailer and I'm moving it to the dock, I'm wearing that PFD. All it takes is one slip or one fall, hit your head on something, or you just never know, you know. Now, it sure would be nice about now to catch something. See, I'm slinging this. Oh, there was a little one just followed me up. It wasn't a very big one. I just say these fish, they tend to water, but the bite is 2 to 6 feet. Yeah, and I just caught my favorite thing too. One of these trees here. I say there's a lot of submerged timber. You're always going to catch stuff here. Timber below the water, a lot of old cedar and post oak. Hopefully this isn't too deep and I can see it. Yeah, I can. A lot of times you can get them back. That's what I really love about these bomber lures here, and these cranks. There's my coloring right there. I'm trying to mimic the coloring that's on this lake, and they're a little wider, and there's white and some blue. So I try to match their pattern. Bass feed on these young tilapia because this lake is just filled with them. The guys that come out here and net them, we call them the tilapia mafia. And they'll come out here by the hundreds. Of course, you catch one out here, you got to keep it. You're not allowed to turn them loose because it's an invasive species. So a lot of times, like bass fishermen, what they'll do is they'll just slit their gills and toss them up on the bank. Or what I've done is when I've caught them, if I'm nearby somebody that is tilapia fishing, I'll just give it to them. keep working this deep timber until it warms up, and then I'm going to work up in that cove. If I remember right from Google Earth, there is a in that cove there's like there's a creek, or I guess it's more runoff. There's two runoff places there, like during the rain. They're dry except for when it rains, and so it got some deep points and some gullies and stuff there, like creek beds that are submerged. So there's some deep next to the shallow there, and that's a good place. There's a lot of timber, and then there's also some reeds up in there too. So I'm gonna let the sun come up a little bit. I hit the shallows yesterday morning, thinking that with this warm water, they'd be up in the shallows early in the morning. They weren't. They were in the deep water with a shallow bite, not in the shallow water shallow bite. So this lake's a little, like I said, this due to being a power plant lake, and the water's really warm. I mean, in the summertime, there's no fishing here. During the summer, they close it, but water temperature will get over 100 degrees. And I think that part of the reason they close during the summer is because the fish are stressed, and this is a good fishery, and gets a lot of fishing, and it has good fishing. And so I think they will shut down fishing during the warmer summer months to not stress the fish, then give them a recovery period after the heavy winter fishing, which is in my book, I think that's great management. I mean, I'd like to see more lakes do that, where they have off periods, you know. I mean, yeah, it sucks when one of your favorite lakes is closed, but on the flip side, the fishing is that much better. And I guess you can kind of put it like, we have a favorite restaurant that we like to go eat, and we save it for special occasions. And the reason we do that is because we find a restaurant and we go, and then the food is just great, and you go, and then you go, and you go, because the food's so good, and you keep going back, and then next thing you know, it's not so special anymore. You know, the food's still good, but it doesn't have that appeal, I guess, that it did when it was still kind of new. So we have a restaurant that we just eat like twice a year, and to keep it special, and it's for special occasions and you know, things like that. And I guess with a fishery, if they would have closed periods for fishing and boating, I think it would be productive. And then, like I say, it sucks not being able to go, but you know what? If it makes it better, I'm all for it, you know. I see a couple of boats over in that section that I was at yesterday. I think I'm gonna move that way. Thought I was at the place where I was at yesterday, but I think it's right up there ahead. Not this strand of trees here, but it's around off to the left. On Google Earth, it looked like, I don't know if you can see on that hill right there, there's a see that clear area coming over the top? From Google Earth, it looks like a road bed that stretched across and up the other side. I don't know if there was an old bridge or something there. So, but I remember spotting that on Google Earth. I'm gonna work this strand right here, and then I'll work around. I'm gonna stay over here in this deeper water until it gets a little bit warmer, and then I'll go up in the shallows and see what I can chase out of there. I see I've had a couple of people pop in. I don't know if anybody, I'm trying to look at my phone. I don't think anybody's watching right now, but I'm still going to talk. Just in case somebody pops in, let y'all know where I'm at, how I'm doing out here on Squaw Creek Lake. Here in north central Texas. Bass fishing. I'm in the, it's an open tournament. I can fish any body of water, any public body of water in the state of Texas. It's a 5-day tournament for the Lone Star Heroes. It's a veterans program. And they're a new, I believe they're a fairly new organization. And so this is one of their first tournaments, I think. Or one of their early tournaments. And if you're a kayak fisherman and you live in Texas, be sure to look these gentlemen up. A couple of really nice guys running this. I say it's just for veterans, and not only that, we got Veterans Day coming up Monday, so. All right, I'm in all this timber here, in 21 foot of water. Water temperature 78. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed, those of you that watched, I hope you've enjoyed this morning live session. Like I say, next week I'll be bringing one from Lake Fork. Got the native kayak big bass, hourly big bass series coming up. I'll be fishing in next Saturday. Friday's my practice day, and I'll probably take y'all out Friday, and then we'll go unencumbered all day Saturday during the tournament, because I'm not the most adept person at trying to work a camera, rod and reel, and net and fish and everything. Alrighty. Hey, well, the stretch line bait and tackle. This is the old man in the kayak fishing series here. It's a new series I'm gonna be starting called, Old Man in the Kayak, because that's what I am, an old man in the kayak. And I'm doing this until I can't. You know what I mean? I don't have much trouble kayaking. My problem is getting in and out sometimes. But all right, that's a whole nother story. We could do some funniest home videos on me getting in and out of the kayak probably. So, haven't taken a full splash, but I've made some ungainly exits. So, alrighty. Hey, well, stretch. I'll stick around for a little bit. I was gonna. Well, they bounced. Well, I'll stick around for a little bit. I was gonna. Well, they bounced. Well, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna go back to fishing. Everybody have a great day.